Waiters, have you ever had to call the cops on your table? I work nights at this 24-hour diner on Highway 9. You see all kinds of weird stuff after midnight, truckers, insomniacs, people running from their problems, but this one really got to me. Around 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, this middle-aged guy stumbles in, clearly wasted beyond belief. Khakis wrinkled like he'd slept in them, shirt half untucked, reeking of alcohol from across the entire room. His eyes are bloodshot and he's swaying, just trying to walk straight to a table. He orders black coffee in this slurred voice and sits in the far corner booth, head buried in his hands like he's trying to disappear from the world. I bring him the coffee and he can barely hold the cup steady without spilling it everywhere. 20 minutes later, this woman bursts through the front door like she's being chased by something. Mid-40s, still in her striped pajamas with a winter coat thrown hastily over them. Hair messy, no makeup, car keys clutched tightly in her trembling fist. She scans the room frantically, checking every booth and table until she spots him in the corner. Her face goes from worried to absolutely furious in about 2 seconds flat. She storms across the diner and slides into the booth across from him with enough force to rattle the table and make the salt shakers jump. They immediately start having this intense whispered argument that I can barely hear from my station. The tension between them is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Other customers are starting to notice something's wrong. She pulls out her iPhone and shows him something on the screen that makes his face go completely white, like all the blood just drained out. He starts shaking his head violently, pushing the phone away like it's contaminated. "Look at it," she hisses, loud enough for me to catch. "Look at what you did this time, Dad." He won't even glance at the screen, just keeps repeating, I can't, like a broken record, rocking slightly in his seat. Then she digs into her coat pocket and pulls out a set of car keys. BMW keys from what I can see with that distinctive logo. She slams them down on the table so hard it echoes through the empty diner. He lunges for them desperately, but she's faster, snatching them back before he can grab them. This bizarre tug of war starts happening right in front of me. He reaches for the keys. She pulls them away. He tries again. She moves them further. He's getting more agitated with each failed attempt, starting to raise his voice above a whisper. "Please, just give me my keys back. Let me drive home. I'm fine now. I sobered up during the walk here." "You're not fine, Dad. You're never fine anymore, and you know it." The family connection hits me like a truck. This isn't some random bar confrontation. The whole time she's playing keep away with his keys, she keeps glancing nervously out the big front window toward the parking lot, like she's expecting someone to show up any minute now. It's making me nervous too, honestly. He notices her constant window watching and gets paranoid fast. "Did you call them already? Please tell me you didn't call them yet." "Not yet," she says coldly, still clutching those keys. "But I will if you don't start cooperating with me right now." That's when he completely breaks down, starts crying, not just tearing up, but actually sobbing into his hands like a little kid who got caught stealing. This full-grown man just falling apart in my diner at 2 a.m. Other customers are definitely staring now. This trucker at the counter keeps looking over his shoulder. Even Jerry, our night cook, pokes his head out from the kitchen to see what's happening. She gets up to leave, clearly fed up with his dramatics. He grabs her wrist as she stands, not aggressively, more like he's drowning, and she's the only life preserver in sight. "Please don't leave me here alone. I can't face this by myself, not again." She pulls away from his grip and heads for the door. I'm thinking this has to be some kind of domestic situation. Maybe I should call my manager. That's when I hear him say, clear as day, "Please, I can't go home like this. Janet will divorce me for sure this time." She stops dead at the door and turns around. Her expression changes from anger to something that looks like exhausted pity. "Then you should have thought about that before you crashed into the Hendersons' mailbox, Dad." Everything suddenly clicks into place. She walks back and sits down, putting those BMW keys safely in her purse. "Mom's already called her lawyer. The Hendersons are talking about pressing charges for hit and run. I'm driving you to the police station right now to turn yourself in." The mysterious someone she was watching for? The homeowners whose property he destroyed, probably driving around looking for the hit and run driver. The photos that made him go white? Pictures of their destroyed mailbox and his damaged car that he was too drunk to remember hitting.